Welcome back to the Carter Plantation Game of the Week, underwritten by Thrifttown, Health Mart, and Pharmacy. We are here watching the Cathedral Green Wave versus the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets with a score of 14-6 as we try to get this third quarter underway, trying to hold out and hold out for the rain. What do you say, Mark? You thinking they're going to make it or what?
I don't know. It's kind of fun playing in the rain, you know?
Ah, well, if they had umbrellas and little dancing pants on, I guess so. They'd be singing in the rain, but this is a football game, and I'm not sure how they're going to hold up with these Oak Forest turnovers.
Well,
they've had two so far, and I don't think the rain's going to help them out with that.
Well, yeah, and you know, the heavy rain doesn't tend to bother the ball as much as that light rain. Just make that ball good and slick.
And gets that oil on that pigskin to rise to the top, and it gets slippery out there. Slippery when wet, and we're going to get this third quarter underway, 14-0. The Oak Forest Yellow Jackets are heading up the score. And it's going to be number 30, Ivy Wall, to kick it into the woods again.
Mr. Leg.
Mr. Leg.
Back to receive.
They're just warming up their legs down there on the Green Wave end because I don't think they're going to have a chance to return this football. They're just trying to stay warm for the snap on the first down.
You have J.J. Jenkins, Jadarius Anderson back to receive.
So as we go, and the ball is in the air.
Wall puts a boot to it, and that looks like it's going to be back of the end zone. And they'll take a knee.
Takes a knee on it. So Thomas Garrity is going to kind of come out and lead his team down the field. He's going to have about 80 yards to go to lead his team to the pay dirt and try to tighten up the score a little bit. 14-6 is the score. And again, I'm wondering if that it's 14-6 due to an extra point that was blocked early in the first quarter when the Green Wave drew the first blood. So shotgun formation is Thomas Garrity, and he's going to hand it off, and number 25 is going to take it up. And that's going to be Christian Jenkins.
It's the first time we've seen that young man run with the ball.
Yeah, he's had a few opportunities to catch it tonight, but hasn't done much. Having some.
Garrity calls for the ball. Ball snapped high again. Throws to the flat, and it's batted away.
And broken up by number 30.
That's Wall.
Is Ivy Wall.
Got good hands and good feet.
Good hands.
This young man.
Good feet.
Good God, let's eat.
Good God, let's eat. All right? All right, so you know, Mark, it looks like they're starting to develop their passing plays a little bit more, going to those out routes, those slot routes, and hot routes. So we'll see if that can work for them a little bit. Thus far, nothing doing, and Garrity drops back again, and it's going to be number 25 on the reception, and he's going to bring it up to about the 25-yard line.
That's Jenkins again, and it looks like they were running a little screen there. And it almost worked.
It almost worked.
It almost worked.
Branson Swable was there to be all over the football for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets. So that's going to be a fourth down situation, and the Green Wave is going to be forced to punt again.
They go with that safe return again. You see Stewart and Hassan back there. And it's going to go over there. Stewart's going to call for the fair catch. Yeah, it looks like it was going over his head, but the young man got in good position. And that's going to be right at the 40-yard line. And they're going to spot it at the 41. 10:47 in the third quarter.
So the Yellow Jackets are going to take over. And Hassan's going to be back underneath the football for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets as Jacob Sharkey makes his way out onto the field. He's playing both sides of the football tonight also. A lot of that going on for the Yellow Jackets.
Back's in motion. They're going to flip to Stewart. He's trying to find a lane.
And the ball comes loose.
Yeah, well,
again for the Yellow Jackets.
Wet ball.
But they're going to call him down, and that's not going to result in a turnover for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets. That would have been number 3 for the night for the Yellow Jackets, but they caught a break there.
And that was no gain on the run by Stewart.
So the Green Wave is going to hold their position and hold the Yellow Jackets to 2nd and 10 to go with no gain on the play.
Hassan under center. Fake pitch. He's going to hand off to Colin Kent. Kent's breaking tackles. Great run down to the 40-yard line. Young man rips off about a 19-yard run there.
And that was Will Sandel, number 80 for the Green Wave, who brought him down. And here we go again as the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets continue to drive the football. If they can just not turn the ball over down there in that red zone like they have twice, I believe the score would be a whole lot different at this point as they continue to just move the football at will.
Well, they were in close field goal range with that last fumble. And then they do have a missed field goal that was just a little outside, so they left 6 points in the first half. They don't want to do that again in the second half. Backs in motion. He's going to hand off up the middle, and that looks like Fred Henry.
During the halftime, I was doing some recon on Ivy Wall, and it seems that he's kicked a 44-yarder already this season. He's the number 2 kicker in the nation as far as high school football goes right now.
Quite interesting, right here in Tangipahoa Parish.
Right here in Tangipahoa Parish, where the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets reside. And also Thrifttown Pharmacy, which our game is underwritten by today.
Going to pitch it out to Henry, and he probably should have tucked that in, but he's breaking tacklers, making something out of nothing. Still on his feet, breaking tacklers, dragging him down to the 20-yard line is Henry. And this young man that's single-handedly getting yardage there, my friend.
They could not bring him down as he just packed. He was a pack mule. He packed about 6 or 7 of those defenders at one time, and they just couldn't handle him.
Well, you looked at that and thought, oh, Henry should have cut that up instead of taking it to the outside. Well, he decided, let's cut that up anyway, broke tacklers and formed his own lane. Good for the young man there.
So a very exciting play here at the Carter Plantation Game of the Week. And I may be saying that could be the play of the night as far as I'm concerned.
Backs in motion. Hassan keeps it himself.
Takes it up for about a 3-yard gain right up the middle as Hassan keeps it himself. It's going to be about 2nd and 7.
You know, Brad, I like the way this young man handles himself. Tyler, he looks like he understands the offense. He gets the play into the huddle in a hurry. He communicates well. He runs the line well. He's good at distributing the ball when they ask him to do that. He's a well-seasoned young man here.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Quarterback under center. Calls for the ball. And they're going to hand off to Stewart. Oh, just tripped up, and that's a good tackle.
That's number 21 on the tackle, J.J. Jenkins, and he did. He was there right on time. That was a very quick handoff.
Yeah, and that was a good tackle by that young man. A shoestring tackle. It caught him because if he breaks that, that's a touchdown, and Oak Forest is going up.
Absolutely. Excellent timing there by both offense and defense to execute the play and resulted in just a no gain. It's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets, and they're going to be at their the 18-yard line of the Green Wave.
Lowe's at the bottom of the field. They're going to hand off to
number 4, Colin Kent, and
Kent makes
he had a huge hole to run through there for just a minute, and it kind of closed up on him.
Makes a good cut there.
And the ball's going to be spotted down around the 6-yard line. And, boy, I tell you what, they are threatening once again to score. First and goal for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets. That's going to be their 12th first down of the night. They have had a few, I can tell you. They have moved the ball very, very successfully tonight and continue to do so. Hanson under center, and there's the snap. He's going to roll out.
He's going to throw the back corner. That looks like it's overshot him.
Well overthrown. Number 12 was the intended receiver, Stephen Liuza.
Looks like Hassan probably just threw that one away when he rolls out. sees his receiver covered. He just threw that one out the back of the end zone. Smart play by the young man.
Oh, yeah, when you're that close to the end zone, your options get very limited because the pass rush is coming. So down in the corner is number 7, Braden Glasgow.
That's Glasgow.
And keep your eyes on him.
Stewart popped it to the outside. Looks like the young man's going to go in, and he does.
He hopped into the end zone.
Kalen Stewart.
And that's going to be pay dirt once again for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets, and that's going to run up the score to 20 to 6 rather. And we're going to be looking for 21 here shortly.
From Mr. Wall. Good play call there. On the heels of that rollout pass to the back corner of the end zone, they run that speed sweep there.
Well, sticking with the strategy that works. And here goes Ivy, going to put one into the woods.
Yeah, that's solid. Brad, let me just say it again. Stephen Lauza on the outside, number 12 there, lined up at the bottom. Great blocking. They could not run this game plan without their wide receivers blocking so well. That time was Braden Glasgow with the block.
Right.
They put Glasgow in motion. They pull him from the top down to the bottom on the short side of the field, and he makes a heck of a block, and that's wide open. I mean, I'm well overweight and past my prime. I think I could have snuck that one in myself.
When you're watching this game on TV, what we're referring to is the bottom right side of the football field. You'll see those two young men just interchange out all game long, and the way they block down the field just creates. I mean, if that would have been if they'd have needed 40 yards on that play, they probably could have got it.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised we haven't seen them run a wide receiver screen with as well as those other guys are blocking. You would think they could stack them and run a really nice wide receiver screen. Maybe they're holding that in the bag of tricks for later on.
We'll see if they need it. At this point, they don't need too many tricks. It's 21 to 6. 6 minutes 28 seconds in the third quarter left.
Ball putting it in the back of the end zone again.
And the referee almost took one in the ear hole there, as as Wall kicked it down to him. He almost got all up in the business there.
Well, let me give the Zebras some props. We have not had a complaint tonight with the way these guys have reffed the game. They've done a good job.
They've done a great job. I don't know if you heard about what happened at the St. Paul Mandeville game last week when those two referees wound up in the back of the police car. That didn't turn out too well. I was able to go up to Louisiana High School Athletic Association this week and talk to one of the directors up there, and he talked to me for a few minutes but didn't give me any specifics on the way all that turned out. But quite a controversy in high school football for sure.
Well, my 2 cents, I'll just throw it in there. I think the referee always has the best interest of the players and the fans, and it appeared there was miscommunication, but I think that ref was
well within his rights.
He was doing what he was trying to do for the safety of the players. And that's a good pass to the outside by
it's a number
Garrity. It looked like he hit that's right, number 9, his go-to man, Jadarius Anderson.
Well, quickly again gobbled up by the Oak Forest defense, so they didn't gain but about 3 yards on the play. But that looks like it's going to be a face mask call as the laundry on the field. That's going to move the Cathedral green wave up to about the 30-yard line. And that's going to make it.
Oh, no, that must have just been an illegal hands to the face. A high snap again, brought down, breaking a few tackles is Christian Jenkins breaking tackles, looking good there.
Now, I'm going to tell you, if I'm Ron Rushing, the head coach of the Cathedral Green Wave, I have got to pull that young man to the side and say, keep your snaps down. Because as of right now, the Oak Forest defense, the timing, they've got it down, and you start putting high snaps in the air, you're just taking away from that play.
With that wet football, you're going to see a turnover, or you're going to see sacks, one or the other.
So back to pass again he goes, and a complete pass, Garrity to
Anderson again.
Number 9, Anderson, and he has called upon that young man to do a lot for him tonight. And
pass to the flats again. I mean, it's the same thing. They're not changing up the game plan right now. Marching down the field, it's working, but
I hadn't seen him go deep yet this quarter. And I think we're about to see. And that's probably going to be a pass interference.
There
it is. There's a flag on the field. And that's number 34. He's slow to get up.
And he's popping pretty good by Hassan there.
Hassan is really, he's a big boy.
And I think, you know, Hassan just reads the play. As we've said all night, he's reading that quarterback. The ball just got there slower than he anticipated, and he was on top of the receiver.
That's number 24, Ishmael Blackman, and he got P-laid over the middle.
He might have had stars in his eyes going for the ball himself there. And, you know, if he outstretches his hands and jumps for the ball, he might get away with one, but they just kind of collided it at the 45-yard line.
Well, and that's going to bring the laundry on the field every time. So that's going to move the ball up to about the 46-yard line. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Green Wave.
You see Sharkey lining up low down here again, and he's trying to get a run off. He sees those high snaps, and his mouth's watering.
Got a false start on the offense.
And that'll back him up.
And as quickly as they go forward, they are going backwards. And that's going to back them on up to about the 46-yard line.
4:49 to play, third quarter. 21-6.
So 1st and 15 for the Green Wave. And it's Thomas Garrity going to take the snap. Another high snap and another pass rush by the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets.
And it looks like he got the pass off.
No,
incomplete.
It's going to hit the ground.
He was shooting for Anderson. It was a pretty good pass. Anderson couldn't reel it in.
You know, again, you don't see how that can affect the play that much, but when you've got a defense that's as fast as the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets, just that few milliseconds that you've got to take the ball from up here down here before you look downfield, your play is wrecked.
Schwabel and Jacob Sharkey are all over that because of that half second with that ball's too high.
And time again, he keeps throwing it up there.
High snap again. Garrity rolls out, throws deep. He's got a man. Oh!
And he brings it down. That's number 4. That's R.J. Givens. And, boy, what a catch. He was very patient and waiting on it to go up and go get it, I tell you. What a catch.
Niehaus plays the ball well. It's just we talked about a mismatch at that position. That's what you have. A guy who's 4 inches taller than the other guy reaches up and pulls it over his head. Garrity with the pass there to the outside to Anderson. And that is a touchdown, a beautiful pass in the corner of the end zone, tiptoes. You can't do it any better than that, folks. Beautiful play. Beautiful play.
So that was Garrity to Anderson, and I tell you, that combination has been, I wouldn't say working well all night, but he has called upon Anderson to make him look good
well,
all night.
Well there, good for them. They get on the same page right there, and it's good coverage. He throws the ball where only his man can get it. Throws it at the pylon, corner of the end zone.
So they're going to go for 2 here and try to get back on pace.
Try to pull this thing within striking distance of 7 here.
So a timeout is called, and they're going to talk about this 2-point conversion that's going to be inevitably taking place. So do you think this is a good call at this time in the game?
Well, they haven't been able to move the ball very good, and I think you might want to, while you have the opportunity, try to get the points you could get to get within striking distance. I think I would go for it, Brad.
You got to. You got to
take the chance right now. They haven't moved the ball very well. They did on that drive.
Well, they did. They did. They
with the same
did.
formula, however. With the same formula.
But again, it was those big passes that moved the ball. That moved the ball. You know. So you go for the home runs and you swing the bat as hard as you can, and eventually it's gonna go over the fence. But it seems like for the most part they've been striking out with that.
Playing gorilla ball, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
And that pass is broke up. They went for 2, and it just.
So the attempt was feeble at best for the Cathedral Green Wave, as they failed to bring in the 2-point conversion, which is going to keep the score at 21-12. 4 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third quarter. Still, in my opinion, a very good game going on here. the way they've been moving the ball on both sides of the football field, figuring each other out, feeling each other out, I don't see a runaway.
Yeah, you don't see
by
anybody.
any means.
You don't see anybody with a formula that looks like it's just going to start working any more successful than it has. It's good defensive secondary play again right there by Oak Forest. They the Cathedral Green Wave march all the way down the field with man-on-man coverage being played by Oak Forest, and they were still successful. And so good for them. They've figured out a recipe for success, and that recipe is in the form of a young man wearing number 9 tonight.
Yes, he
Jadarius
is.
Anderson playing solid football.
Well, just making himself available for Thomas Garrity for sure has been the formula for him for sure. So here we go. We're going to kick off to the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets. Back is Kalen Stewart to receive the ball, but they're going to do an onside kick, and the ball's up and bouncing high. And coming down with the football is
Steven Lauza. Young man gets up high above everybody else and does what he's supposed to do. Well coached there by the special teams unit.
You bet. Holding his spot, not getting antsy, not jumping around.
Reaching the ball at its highest point.
Waited for the football to come to him, because that oblong football certainly can take some crazy bounces, and you have to be still and be patient and wait for it to come to you in that situation.
I don't necessarily understand that. Maybe they thought they were going to catch him off guard, but Oak Forest has moved the ball pretty well all night, and now they're going to give him the ball at the 50-yard line. So
good field position for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets starting out. Hassan back underneath the football, and he's going to take command of this field. Quick handoff and around the left side to Kalen Stewart, and he gets
it's a solid tackle there. Young man gets hit pretty good.
I didn't want to use the term murdered because he did get up and walk it off, but he did. He got hit pretty hard there.
Tackles made by James Coley. And Ty Brown also in.
So 2nd and 9 for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets as Hanson gets the call from the sideline. He's going to bring it back to the huddle. And they're going to approach the line and see which way they're going to go with this play here, Mark.
They're going to pitch back to Henry. He's got a little bit of a lane, pushing defenders up. Looks like he's going to be down about the 45-yard line.
So about a 4-yard gain for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 5 to go.
Well, that young man's got fresh legs. We already seen he's got good power. We might see them put him in the backfield a little more at the end of this second quarter here, start wearing down that Green Wave defense.
So you think we're in a passing situation here, being with the excellent field position that was provided, or are we in a running situation where we get a few yards and put Ivy Wall's leg to use?
As we said earlier, I think these receivers are blocking so well on the outside. I would like to see them throw some wide receiver screen, but they're not lining up for that. They're lining up in the heavy formation. And they're going to call a timeout with 2:46 in the 3rd.
Oak Forest calls a timeout. We'd like to thank our sponsors, the Carter Plantation Game of the Week, and this is underwritten by Thrift Town, Health Mart, and Pharmacy. Definitely swing by and check them out. Hometown business, hometown prices, and hometown smiles. Right there at the Thrift Town Pharmacy in here in Amite, Louisiana.
Right up the road from here.
You bet, right around the corner from Oak Forest. If you don't know where it is, ask somebody. But it's if you start at Oak Forest and go straight right out the gate, you'll run right into it, and you'll run into friendly faces and people that know what they're doing, and excellent prices as well.
Good family-owned business.
We're looking at a little bit of rain that could be in the forecast as the clock continues to tick with 2 minutes and 46 seconds are left in the 3rd quarter. I believe the weather should let us slip this one in, but that is yet to be seen.
They're going to hand off to Kent there, and he's knocked backwards for a couple yards. Nothing really going there.
A little fake to Stewart and handed off to Kent, and I tell you, it got stuffed real quick. Now, it looks like Ivy Wall is going to have an opportunity to punt the football this time instead of kick a long field goal.
See how his coffin corner is here.
Yeah, we'll see how well he boots it. Can he put it in the corner, or is he just going to kick it into the woods again? either way is very effective.
Well, I would expect to see him pooch it or corner kick it because this has been a game of field possession so
Now
far.
a pooch kick to goodness, a one-handed
They snap
grab.
it almost over his head, but he pulls it down, and that's a good kick. And they do aim towards the corner. Anderson's got the ball, breaking a few tackles. He's going up the sideline. It looked like a block in the back, but that did not get called. He's run out of bounds by Stephen Lauza.
So Anderson brings it all the way back up to about the 24-yard line, and the Green Wave is going to start their drive, try to tighten up this score a little bit. 21-12, Oak Forest Yellow Jackets on top of the Cathedral Green Wave. 1 minute 56 seconds left in the third quarter.
On this beautiful homecoming night.
Beautiful night, crisp weather, feeling good.
Garrity calls for it. Hands off to 25.
And it's going to be Christian Jenkins on the run, and he is not going to do much, nothing doing on the right side of the football field. He's going to about a loss of 1 yard, maybe 2 on the play. They're going to mark it 2nd and 11 to go for the Cathedral Green Wave.
Brought down by Newsom there, I believe.
So Garrity takes a snap in the shotgun
A lot of pressure
formation.
in his face, and it's intercepted. No, it's dropped.
There it was.
That was it.
We have been predicting that young man Hassan get an interception all night. We thought it would come in third quarter. The way he's been reading the offense and reading the quarterback, we predicted it would come sometime in the third quarter, and there was his opportunity, and
He just missed it.
Slipped through his fingers. No pun intended.
Well, Garrity, you know, he rolls out. He's got a lot of pressure in his face right there. He throws a pretty good pass, but just played well by Hassan.
Going deep
pass
down
over
the
the
field.
top, and he's going to overshoot.
Oh, number
Ishmael
24.
Blackman throws to the far sideline on the visitor side over there, and it looked like he threw a pretty good pass that Blackman just couldn't get his hands around.
He gave up the run. It looked like he didn't get his body turned the right direction to keep his feet moving forward and at a faster pace.
Yeah, he committed a little too soon there.
And he gave it up a little too early, and
Punting
it was
situation.
overthrown.
3 and out.
So back to punt, back to receive is, of course, Hassan and number 2, Kent there, and it gets Kalen Stewart gets way back there and has to dive on the football. It was kicked over his head, and so he downs it around the 29-yard line, and that's where the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets will begin their drive with 1 minute 3 seconds left in the third quarter. 21-12. Sorry, Oak Forest Yellow Jackets.
Well, I'll be interested to see if Oak Forest goes to throw the ball around a little bit more here. It's something they haven't done much of, just tested the waters here and there, and they've been somewhat successful. You know, we saw that interception here near the end zone. However, he had a receiver available. So,
well, did they go with if it's not broke, don't fix it, or do we try to put a little cushion and a little insurance on the board? We're going to see.
Glasgow at the bottom.
And I tell you, they faked me out on that one.
You'll see Henry go up the middle there, and that's the big guy. It's the guy who I thought that we may see close out this game. You may see him more often than not. He's big. He's physical.
Well, I think you're going to see him try to keep the ball moving as well as the clock. I don't think we're going to see too much Oak Forest go toward the air too much.
Player down at the 45 for the Green Wave. Looks like it's like a knee, maybe just a cramp. So he might just be cramping. Oak Forest will take a knee.
Well, at this time, we'd take this Carter Plantation Game of the Week, and our sponsor, well, looks like he's getting up, but our sponsor, Thrifttown Health Mart. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after these words from our sponsors.
The old edit. There we go. And that was number 73, hobbled off, went off on his own wheel. That was Chaz Jackson. Good for him. We've got 2 receivers at the bottom here.
And Hassan handles it up on himself, on his own, and he doesn't get very far with that.
Well, we saw a wrinkle in the formation there. We saw him bring Matthew Gill, and we saw him bring Braden Glasgow to the right side of the formation. It looks like they had something that they were trying to make happen there, a little wrinkle, but it broke down. The defense of the Green Wave read whatever was about to happen.
So that's going to do it for the third quarter. The clock is going to run out. We've got 1 quarter left to go. 12 minutes of football left for this Green Wave team to put something together and try to come back on the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets. Mark, what do you think that needs to happen for the Green Wave to get them to get this thing together and in gear?
Well, again, we may at 3rd and 5 here. Will we see them try that pass to the bottom of the formation again? Will we see them try to spread the field, maybe run a deep curl, or will they run that speed sweep with Stewart that's been working so well all night? You know, it's 3rd and 5. You're in the 4th quarter. You've got a solid lead. I don't know that I would become the riverboat gambler all of a sudden if I didn't have to be.
You're sure. Yeah, you're right about that. You know, if it was my team, if it was me coaching, I would try to draw some quick blood right here at the beginning of the 3rd or 4th quarter. I would try to put the ball in the air and you know, find those mismatches. Give Anderson another shot at catching one of those long balls and getting down the field as quickly as possible. But the first step in the right direction is getting the ball back from these Oak Forest Yellow Jackets, who just don't seem to want to give it up.
We see 2 receivers flanked to the outside. He's going to drop back to pass, and Hassan's got a man and just overshoots him. Had Colin Kent wide open. Good play. Again, you just asked me what would I do. Maybe you throw a wrinkle in there. 2 receivers to the outside. You have your slot receiver come down and run a deep curl or a deep slant, and he had him wide open.
Evan Weber was the man who got beat a little bit right there.
That have sealed the deal right there.
But yeah, that would have drove a pretty solid nail in the coffin on this Halloween Eve night. Kind of freaky, huh?
Anderson back to receive.
And Wall's going to
puts a boot in it,
punt it away, and it's going to be Anderson's going to call a fair catch, and he bobbled it. Lucky that went out of bounds because the Oak Forest, there's a lot of black Oak Forest Yellow Jacket jerseys.
It's hard to hold those wet footballs.
Yeah, is it wet from the rain or that faux pas at halftime that got the field a little wet when those sprinklers came on?
Somebody turned the sprinkler on in the middle of the homecoming presentation.
Almost got all those fancy dresses and suits down there that everybody dressed up for homecoming. Almost got them a little wet.
I know how that is being a parent. You don't want to see that happen. I got 3 daughters, and those dresses aren't free.
Hey, you're right about that. So back to pass again is Garrity, and he throws it deep down the field, and
that should be an offensive pass interference that doesn't get called.
I don't think it was a pass interference because it's a really uncatchable ball. I think that was a bit of an unsportsmanlike conduct. If I was wearing the stripes out there tonight, I think I'd have threw a flag on that.
Well, you had number 24 Ishmael Blackman running a deep slant to the outside, running to the sideline, being covered well by Hassan, and he just decided to go ahead and usher him out of bounds.
If I can't catch it, neither can you. So a no call by the referees, and they're going to keep this game moving. 11 minutes, 34 seconds left to go in the game.
Receiver in the slot. They're going to throw the ball to him in a quick outside pitch there, and he's brought down quickly.
Blackman is brought down very quickly by the Oak Forest defense.
And that's Hassan again. This kid's everywhere.
He is all over the place. A name we have said time and time again tonight.
This is a well-coached defense, and there's some solid coaches on this Oak Forest sideline. That's why.
Well, you got Gary Lewis and you got Coach Brabham, and you know they together they've structured a very well-disciplined defense. Throwing the ball deep again.
Garrity's
down
going to throw.
And there's the flag.
There's going to be a flag. He throws to the outside there for Anderson again, and kind of too much air under the ball, but it wasn't played well by Dylan Dover. He never turns. If all he has to do is turn towards the ball there, and they don't call that on him. But
well, are we starting to see signs of desperation? You know, throw it up in the air, let's see what happens. Type of football.
Well, when it pays off like that, you may see it again.
Well, you're right about that. It looks like Coach Brabham's given an earful to defender there.
Yeah, and that's Doug Masita getting all over him. You know, this young man is a good ball player. Just makes a mental mistake right there. Turn towards the quarterback, and you don't get called there. So I'm sure he will learn that lesson the hard way.
Back to pass again, and he's going deep down the field. Anderson again.
He's throwing into a group of guys there.
And we are the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets are just they're starting to tighten up the skirt around Anderson.
I got to tell you, those snaps haven't come down at all. that might have been the highest snap of the night. This young man is having to jump into the air to pull that snap down, and that has got to be throwing his rhythm and his timing off.
Well, sure, and that's what being a quarterback, you need both those to be effective, rhythm and timing.
He's in the shotgun. He's going to call for the ball, does Garrity. He throws a quick hit to the outside. He throws a hitch to Givens, and Givens fighting for extra yardage. Looks like he picks up about 7. Brought out of bounds again by
third down and about
Hassan.
5 yards to go.
Hassan with a good tackle. I'm sorry, that wasn't Hassan.
So back in shotgun formation, Thomas Garrity goes again, calling for the football, but he looks to the sidelines for a little instruction.
He's going to bark some orders out to the line.
Changes the play, looks like, and the ball is snapped, and here we go. Looking to the right side of the football field.
The ball floats, tipped, oh!
And
thrown a little high there. Jenkins tries to come down with it, tipped around a few times. Number 5, Dylan Dover, tips it around. Number 3, Branson Schwabel tipping it around.
Anderson was down on his back, and he got a piece of the football, too. Almost came down with it. So, my, what a interesting play. It's going to bring up 4th down. And, Mark, they're going to go for it here. Is this the right call?
Well, I guess this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. Thomas Garrity calls for the ball. High snap again. He's going to throw it deep. Looks like he's hitting Anderson, and he's open.
Oh,
but broken
in
up.
and out the hands of Anderson.
And as he said,
goodness.
this Dylan Dover is a solid football player. That was one of the few mistakes you've seen when he gets flagged there. The kid's playing good football tonight. He breaks that pass up. That's a game-changing play there. So good for that young man. Well-coached player, coaching, gets in his ear on that mistake, and just that quick, you see what he's capable of doing.
Jeez, you've seen it happen. It was another mismatch, as we would call it, physically, but that young man seems to get his hands all up in Jadarius Anderson's way, and the ball just comes right out, and that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Cathedral Green Wave. So that's going to give the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets possession of the football about the 47-yard line of the Green Wave.
Hassan's going to move Stewart to the other side of the formation. They're going to put him in motion, hand off up the middle to Henry, and that's just power football. That's how they're going to close this game out, Brad.
That's what they're going to do. They're just going to keep running the ball up the middle.
Give it to your big, strong, young back. This kid's got a good career ahead of him. This Hendry boy is going to be a solid football player. Oak Forest has got to be tickled pink about him.
They've got some quality football players on this Oak Forest team. Hassan being one of them, or Hassan being one of them. Playing on both sides of the football tonight. A lot of these young men are playing on both sides of the football tonight. Now keep your eyes down on number 12 right now, lining up to the outside.
That's Lauz is going to put. You're going to put 2 receivers at the bottom of the formation. They're just going to hand off up the middle again. That looks like that was to Henry again. Pick up a couple yards.
But here's where you're going to see again Liuza. You're going to see those young men down on the bottom side of the football field, creating those blockings.
Those kids have been blocking good all game.
You're going to see that happen a lot in these last 9 minutes and 26 seconds of the football game.
I'd like to see Coach reward him with a wide receiver screen. That would be fun. I've been waiting to see this.
Just some big payoff.
When you have receivers that are blocking that well, you got to think a wide receiver screen could break wide open here. And you're going to have 2 more receivers at the bottom of the formation here on the left side.
Plenty of room to do it in.
Liuza and Kent. Backs in motion, hand off up the middle again. No, it's a fake. And Hassan holds on to it. He's got a lot of green upfield, and that's going to be a touchdown. He's at the 10-5. Boom goes the dynamite.
And who's blocking, leading the way? Again, we talked about it, number 12, Steven Liuzef, put a block right there on the last defender to ensure the pay dirt for Hassan. And there it is.
You can hear the hammer.
The old nail in the coffin. I believe is coming out, and it's going to get beaten into the coffin for sure.
Great play call, by the way. They have not called a quarterback keeper since the second quarter, I believe.
Well, certainly an excellent call by Coach Brabham and the Oak Forest offensive coordinating team. And that's going to put the window out in the bus way over there. And
this young man's got a good foot.
That's going to bring the score on up to 28-12 is the score. Oak Forest Yellow Jackets above the Cathedral Green Wave. And it's starting to get grim.
Well, I'm going to say for Oak Forest, you know, interesting. A lot of times you're trying to schedule a cupcake for homecoming night, and they did not do that tonight. They picked a solid ball club that fell on the schedule. When this game started, you thought, well, we're going to see the ball get thrown around the field a lot tonight. Even watching warm-ups, these young men for the Cathedral High School Green Wave looked like they had the ability to come here and throw the ball around the field tonight. You looked at Garrity and said, wow, he doesn't have a great stature, but he's got a solid arm. He looks to be a smart kid. He throws the ball well. So good for them. They didn't schedule a cupcake on homecoming, played a solid team, and they're going to be some happy kids at this dance this afternoon.
That's right. It's fun to come and you know, root for your team all 4 quarters and not just see them, not have to walk out at halftime. So they kick it, squib kick,
and that's Anderson trying to hit the seam over there. The sideline is open for him, but a good tackle brought down, and that looks like that's going to be Dover. Young man's playing good football tonight.
Speaking of the dance this evening, you'll probably be chaperoning next year when your little girl finally breaks into the high school there, huh?
Let's talk about football.
Not something you're looking forward to, I can see.
Tyler Kepner is trotting onto the field right now, and we see Dylan Brabham dropping. Dalton Brabham trotting off. Receiver calls from.
So he runs up the middle, and that's big number 25, the bowling ball.
We saw
Christian Jenkins.
Another high snap there.
Time and time again, that high snap seems to slow down the progress of the Cathedral Green Wave. So shotgun formation as Garrity checks again with the sideline for the play.
Single back formation, high snap again. He's going to go deep to Anderson. Covered well again. Dylan Dover. Great coverage against this young man, Anderson. The kid's long, he's quick, and Dover has just about, I mean, you know, he's getting yardage and he's made plays tonight. But for the ability this man has, Dover has done a great job of harnessing him tonight and putting the reins on him, slowing him down.
So it's 3rd and 3. We're definitely in 4-down territory.
Calls for the ball, high snap again. Going to hand off up the middle, and there's some yardage there.
And there goes Christian Jenkins, and he is going down to about the 20-yard line. He brings it with a run, and this could tighten it up a little bit.
He picked up 40 yards on the run there.
Nice run by Christian Jenkins there. And that's going to put a little pressure on the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets to hold on to this lead, the 28-12 lead.
And, you know, Coach Brabham is not going to like the fact that on 4th down you're about to seal the deal and you allow a 40-yard run to be popped off up the middle nonetheless.
So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. They're going to hand it off to Christian Jenkins again, and he gets horse-collared around the 14-yard line. And Wall gets in there and gets a hand on him.
As well as Ty Rogers. Again, they need to close that whole middle of the field up if they're going to stop the score here.
So relentless.
Green Wave moving the ball well.
Relentless as they come. Jenkins,
and the ball is tipped, and that's going to be intercepted. Going down the far sideline. Can't be caught by Givens. Making moves, making players miss.
And that's going to be number 23 for the 04 Yellow Jackets. That's Chet Niehaus. And, boy, the ball was tipped up, and that's going to
great hands by that young man.
Really stipend the way that the Green Wave was coming
Brad,
back
I'm going to tell you, I thought that was one of the best play calls. They got to the line of scrimmage. They called the ball in a hurry. Garrity throws the ball, quick pitch out to Givens. Looks like that's going to be the touchdown. He's one-on-one with the young man. He's got a lot of green in front of him. Instead, that wet ball slips through his fingers.
Tipped out and taken advantage of.
Niehaus did not miss the opportunity. Good for him.
Kept his eye on the ball, kept his feet planted until the ball landed in his hands, and then he took off the other way with it.
And that's going to be the game changer there. I mean, at this point, you could just about run this clock down. You get a 1st down, and it's going to be hard to come back if you're the Green Wave.
Well, sure. The objective here for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets is definitely to run some time off the clock. 7 minutes, 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Lowe's at the bottom. Kent at the bottom. Backs in motion. Handoff's going to be to Stewart. He's breaking tackles and gets up. Looks like about a 4-yard gain, 5-yard gain.
And the clock continues to run. Stayed in bounds. Great awareness by Stewart to stay in bounds there, to realize that the play was running out of green, and kept it in
interesting
bounds.
How often they run to the weak side. They're very confident in their blocking, and they run to the weak side often.
So 6:45 left in the football game as Hassan takes the call from the sidelines and brings it back to the huddle.
This young man monitors the game and manages the game very well. He understands when he's got to get to play in the huddle. He understands he's got to get to the line of scrimmage. He's done a good job.
He's got a very good
pace. As I say that, for the first time all night, he just about gets a delay a game. I jinxed him.
He does. He's got a very good pace, a very good control of the football game. He doesn't get in a rush. He doesn't get in a hurry, which allows him to have a lot of success. Unfortunately, when you don't get in a rush, when you don't get in a hurry, the play clock will run out on you sometimes. It heads up. Looked like
the sideline caught that.
The sideline did catch that. Looked like Coach Lewis, Gary Lewis down there, or Doug Masita, one of those two guys on the sidelines were keeping their eye on the play clock and was able to call timeout.
I think that's going to be Masita.
His head is in the game. 6:24 left to go in the football game, and time is running out for the Cathedral Green Wave to get back in it. They had put together a really good-looking drive to get all the way down to about the 12-yard line of the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets, but had a quick interception, and the ball came back the other way. So now the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets have it on the Green Wave 36-yard line, and threatening once again to collect another 6 points.
You know, Masita's a solid coach. He's down there barking orders to everybody. He's also raised a solid football player, and a son named Drew plays at Southeastern. He's done a good job of coaching him up. Handoff in the backfield. That's going to be to Stewart. He's breaking tackles, trying to make it happen.
Wrestled to the ground. Yeah,
one.
Doug Masita did raise Drew, and Drew has had some great success at Southeastern.
Absolutely.
Really good football player. Doug Masita has been coaching football for quite some time, and has a lot of knowledge of the game for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Waiting for the call to come in.
I heard he even measures every blade of grass on the football field before they play at nighttime. He's that methodical.
Tyler Hassan gets the call, and they're gonna have to call a timeout or snap this thing in a hurry. 3, 2, 1, and interesting. I sure did jinx them. They hadn't had a problem with the play clock all night until I said something there.
And Coach Brabham is as he slams his headset and drops his playbook to the ground, he walks out there to give his guys a quick talking to, and he's not very happy right now. As well he shouldn't be.
And they call their third and final timeout. Does Oak Forest.
Reluctantly call their third and final timeout as Coach Brabham and Coach Lewis come off the field.
I would not want to make Coach Brabham upset. That's a stout fella. On the field, the Green Wave trotting out. Hassan lines up behind center. Single back formation. Stewart goes in motion, hands off. Now he's going to keep the ball. Hassan breaking tacklers. Gets the first down and a little bit more.
And that'll be spotted somewhere around the 29-yard line, possibly right at the 30. And the chains are going to move.
There's a good run. He picks up 8, needed 7. Good play call again. They've been blocking well on that quarterback keep. I think that has a lot to do with Hendry's ability. When the ball does touch his hands, he lowers his shoulder and he's making an impact. So when they're running that play action to Hendry, everybody's focusing on him. Frees up Hassan, got a nice lane, 8 yards.
And that's all you need. You need 3 or 4 yards every carry, and that's going to keep
receivers flank to the outside, backs in motion. Hendry again, hit at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he drives ahead for a yard.
2 or 3 yards every carry is gonna 3 yards, 3.5 yards every carry is gonna put you in a first down situation every time, and that's gonna run the clock out fairly quickly. 4 minutes 48 seconds left in this Carter Plantation game of the week. That's brought to you by Thrifttown Health Mart and Pharmacy.
Well, Brad, the Saints are off Sunday. Maybe we should set a tee time.
Maybe so. We'll go down to Carter Plantation and take our director, Andrew Glasscock, who lives out there, and we'll maybe go out there and whack it around a little bit, see if I can't keep it under 100 and 100 lost balls,
Bassett
that
rolls
is.
out. He's making something happen there and stretches. Looks like he gets the first down. He does. He does that all on his own there. Outruns the defender. He's being chased. As soon as the ball touches his hand, there's a defender in the backfield. He just takes it on his own and makes it happen.
So, as the clock continues to wind, 4 minutes and 6 seconds left in the football game. The Oak Forest Yellow Jackets continue to dominate the possession as they roll the ball on down to the 20-yard line.
I don't
be
know.
first and 10.
I don't know what time of possession was, but you just alluded to it. They have had the ball probably twice the amount of time that the Green Wave have.
Absolutely. Well, the Green Wave has
the handoff at the middle, and Henry is just punching people in the mouth.
Looks like
He's
a
still
fight is
not down.
going on down there. It looked like a boxing match before it looked like a football game down there for a second. But yeah, you're definitely right as far as time of possession goes. The Yellow Jackets have methodically moved the football down the field as the Green Wave just tried to go for those big kills, which has resulted in a score of 28-12.
That young freshman is running like a grown man.
Him and Dalton both are
Dalton Bappin, both freshmen starting on this varsity team and have been an impact tonight and are loads. When they hit you, you know it. When they got the ball, you know it. Under center, calls for the ball. He's going to roll out himself. Good blocking. Hassan's going to make a few guys miss. They fumbled the ball, and it's going to be picked up by the Green Wave.
The Green Wave, that's going to be
and
the
that
third.
was one of those bang plays there. He gets hit, and right before the knee touches the ground, ball comes out, and a good hit put on him right.
That's going to be the third turnover of the night for the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets.
Jacob Ponkin with a good pop, and
each turnover that they've had tonight, the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets has been inside the 25-yard line. So you look at the score at 28-12, and you wonder what it could have been, if they were able to keep the ball in their possession on those long drives like that.
Yeah,
so
and if you're a coach, it's and a fumble right there.
Loose again,
knocked
and
out.
The Yellow Jackets jump back on
be
top of it.
By the Jackets.
So that's number 23 on the recovery is going to be Chet Nias. That's his second
Niehaus,
big
this
play.
All over the ball. If you don't hold on to the ball, Niehaus will take it from you.
Niehaus. 23 on the recovery is Chet Niehaus. And my, that man has saved the day a few times tonight.
Well, I was about to say for the fumble there, you made a good point. They keep turning this ball over inside the 20s. It's so hard when you're a coach to teach discipline and make corrections. When you win the game and you move the ball this well, it's hard. Masita he is putting on a show on the sideline. He's frustrated. Little quick pitch there.
And run up the middle.
Tacklers.
Big number 4, Colin Kent, makes his way down inside the 5-yard line or inside the 10-yard line, and he is kind of breaking the spirit of the Green Wave.
Yeah, that's about all you need to do. This game is just going to tick away here with this 28-12.
So 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the football game. And the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets are threatening once again to run that score on up.
An exciting night for the Oak Forest fans. Come out and saw some good football.
Homecoming night, you definitely don't want your team to lose. You want them to come out and win. You want them to come out and dominate. And dominating is number 6 out there. He didn't get too far, Jacob Sharkey, but they were certainly trying to get that football out of his hands, and he was holding on to it like it was his homecoming day tonight.
And at halftime, we saw him honoring the 2002 state champions from Oak Forest. You saw a lot of the players come back, and that was nice to see. Those guys, I believe, have a state championship football team in the near future here. They got some solid guys on that sideline. We've talked about a couple of them freshman starting tailback, freshman in Dalton Brabham, freshman in Jude Jardina. So it looks like they've got the recipe, the coaching.
A solid football team going to be coming back. So on a quick one up the middle there is Colin Kent there, and he runs up the side for just about 1 yard. That's going to be 3rd down and 9. A minute and 5 seconds left to play in this Carter Plantation Game of the Week, underwritten by Thrifttown Pharmacy. So I tell you, I had a good time with you tonight, Mark. It's been real good having you next to me in the booth.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
It's absolutely have been a pleasure. And
Hassan pitched to Stewart. He keeps on his feet, and he's going to scramble in. That young man could not be stopped.
Stewart,
I guess he wanted one last one.
Stumbles into the end zone.
He gets tripped up in the backfield, and his head is about 4 inches off the ground for the next 8 yards, and he squeaks another one in.
Yes, indeed. He was smelling what the dirt pay dirt smelled like. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. We've had some high-pitched squeals going on. I don't know if that's the whistles of the fans or that's in my headphones, but the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets are going to wind this one up with 33 seconds left to go on the clock. It's 35-12, and that looks like it's going to be the final score pretty soon. Within 33 seconds, this clock is going to come out, and Ivy Wall is set back to kick it back to the green wave and bring this game to a finale. So very excited as the Oak Forest fans, players, coaches, for the win tonight of the homecoming game, this Carter Plantation Game of the Week.
Number 30, Ivy Wall, to kick off for the Yellow Jackets. Back into the
Thrifttown Pharmacy is our underwritten sponsor tonight. We certainly appreciate them for bringing this game to us. And stop by and see them if you can. Bring your business there. It's in Amite, Louisiana. So here we go, a little razzle-dazzle. That's Anderson again, trying to make his way out to about the 30-yard line. 23 seconds left to go in this game.
Number 9, Jadarius Jackson, returning the kickoff, brought down by number 1, Mason Travis, and number 33, Dalton Brabham for the Jackets.
As the clock is reading 23 seconds to go, Florida Parish Television, Channel 17, like to thank you for being a part of our program this afternoon. And we certainly appreciate you being here. We certainly appreciate our Carter Plantations for helping us out, and also our Thrifttown Hometown Pharmacy.
Tonight's game is being televised on
8,
FPTV
7, 6, 5, 4,
replay.
3, 2, 1. Check the Facebook page.
Check the Facebook page for FPTV Channel 17 for a replay of tonight's game.
And that's it, Brad. It's in the books.
That's going to do it for this Game of the Week, brought to you by Carter Plantation, the Carter Plantation Game of the Week, and Thrifttown Health Mart and Pharmacy. And what a game that the Oak Forest Yellow Jackets put up.
They put on a show tonight.
A quick recap, Mark. What can you tell me about the football game?
Well, good. We saw these teams not